6, dividing mixed fractions. And I bet I don't have to say too much for this one. It's exactly like dividing fractions that you did last day, but they're mixed this time. So, any guesses what you have to make sure you do? Exactly the same thing you had to make sure you did when you multiplied mixed fractions. You got to switch them to improper. So what do I have here? Don't need common denominators, of course. We've talked about this. For all our multiplying and dividing fractions, whether they're mixed or not, you don't need common denominators. You must change mixed fractions to improper. This is true for multiplying and dividing. You got to switch the mixed to improper. Remember, you're not going to divide. You're going to multiply by the reciprocal. And you don't ninja slice until you turn it into a multiplication question. So really it's just the same as what we did last day. The only thing different is you got to change your mixed fractions to improper. So let's get straight to some questions. The first question, 8 divided by 4 2/3. Now, again, I know you're going to have this propensity to skip steps, but the first thing I would do is change them both to fractions. So this is just 8. I'm going to make it 8 over 1. Don't make it multiplication yet. This is my advice. Don't do 2 steps at once. At least when you start, keep the division sign and switch this into an improper fraction. 4 2/3 is mixed. We got to switch it to improper. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14, and we keep the denominator the same. The problem I find is often people will change this to times and then write 14 over 3 here. But now we have to flip it, right? Because now we're going to change it into a multiplication question. This is our new division question, which we'll now write as a multiplication question because we don't want to divide. How do we do that? We keep the first fraction the same, 8 over 1, just like last day. Change the division to multiplication, just like last day, and flip the second fraction. It will now become 3 over 14. Denominator becomes numerator, numerator comes denominator. Now that it's a multiplying question, you're allowed to ninja slice. So I see the 8 and the 14 can both be divided by 2. 8 by 2 is 4, and 14 by 2 is 7. Okay, let's multiply. Straight across the top, 4 times 3 is 12, and straight across the bottom, 1 times 7 is 7. This answer is totally okay with me. Or 7 goes into 12 one time, and you still have 5 left over. Leave the denominator the same. Either one of these answers works. Okay, again, first step, let's keep it as a division question and just get our fractions that we want. So we don't want mixed, we've got to change it into improper. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2 is 20. Keep the denominator the same. This is just 4, but let's make it a fraction. Let's make it 4 over 1. Don't flip it yet. Don't flip it until the next step. This is my advice. I know lots of you won't follow this, but this is the safest way to do it. Now we'll make it into a multiplication question. Keep the first fraction the same, 20 over 3. We're not going to divide, we're going to multiply, and we're going to flip the second fraction, so it's now 1 over 4. Great, we have a multiplication question, we're allowed to ninja slice. So I see the 20 and the 4 can both be divided by 4. 4 by 4 is 1, 20 by 4 is 5. Time to multiply. Straight across the top, 5 times 1 is 5. Straight across the bottom, 3 times 1 is 3. Great answer. Or 3 goes into 5 one time with 2 left over and keep the denominator the same. Either one's great. Okay, now we have 2 mixed fractions. Better switch them both to improper. So 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15 over 4. Keep it as a division question for now. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 7 is 25, and it's still over 9. Now we'll switch it into a multiplication question. Keep the first one the same. Flip the second one, 9 over 25. Any ninja slicing you can do there? For sure, the 15 and the 25 can both be divided by 5. 15 by 5 is 3, 25 by 5 is 5. So multiply across the top. 3 times 9 is 27, 4 times 5 is 20, and now we can, that's fine, you can leave that as your answer, or 20 goes into 27 one time with 7 left over, and the denominator is 20. Either answer works. Okay, the first fraction here is just a regular old fraction. That's fine. Keep it there. I'm going to keep the division sign because I'm going to rewrite this. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8 over 3. Now we can turn it into a multiplication question. Keep the first one the same. Flip the second one, and you'll get 3 over 8. And you can ninja slice the 4 and the 8, divide them both by 4. 4 by 4 is 1. 8 by 4 is 2. We're ready to multiply. 1 times 3, for the numerators, 5 times 2 for the denominators, and that is our only answer this time. Okay, we're whipping through it here. Oh, remember these guys? Don't despair, don't freak out. This is a compound fraction. That red line right there means divide. So I'm going to rewrite this a couple times. The first time I'm going to rewrite it is like this. 7.5, red line means divided by 1 1/4. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm still going to make it a division question, but I'm going to rewrite it in improper form. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15 over 2. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 4. Now I'm going to rewrite it as a multiplication question. How do I do that? I keep the first fraction the same. I flip the second fraction. Now that it's a multiplication question, I can ninja slice. 15 and 5 can be divided by 5. So 1 here and 3 here. 15 by 5 is 3. 2 and 4 can be divided by 2. 1 here and 2 here. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And we can multiply. We get 3 times 2 equals 6 on top. 1 times 1 equals 1 on the bottom. And you know if anything's over 1, just put the numerator down. 6 over 1 is the same as 6. That's your best answer. Okay, another one like that. Here is that division line right there. So notice how I'm just doing one step at a time. If you really want to, ensure you're getting best marks you can in math, this is the way you'll do your math. You always do take all the steps necessary. Don't try to skip too many steps. So the first thing I'm going to do is write this as 6 divided by, that red line there is divided by 2 1/4. Still going to be division. I'm going to make the 6 over 1. And I'm going to make 2 1/4 9 over 4. How did I get that? 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Keep the denominator the same. Now I'll make it a multiplication question. Leave the first fraction alone and flip the second so it's 4 over 9. You can now cross cancel or simplify or ninja slice. So the 6 and the 9 can both be divided by 3. 9 by 3 is 3. 6 by 3 is 2. Don't cancel the 2 into 4. Those are both numerators. You need to have one numerator and one denominator. So you're ready to multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. Great answer. Or, how many times is 3 going to 8? 2 times. How much is left over? 2. And the denominator is 3. So either one of those is good. Okay, here's a couple tricky ones here. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I have some multiply and some division. But whether you divide or multiply, you need to have them all in improper form. You can't have any mixed fraction. So let's switch them all to improper form. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15 over 7. Times 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26 over 5. Divided by 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 4. Now, I would love to have this all multiplication, no division. Well, this multiplication, that's great. There's nothing I need to switch there, right? I have 15 over 7, and I have 26 over 5. Okay, now look at this division right here. I want to change basically this part of the question right here. How do I do that? I keep the first one the same, just like I already wrote down, but now my division is going to become multiplication, and my second fraction, the 13 over 4, is going to flip, the reciprocal. It's going to become 4 over 13. Great, now I have all multiplication. I'm ready to go. I can cross cancel or ninja slice right now. Remember, any number on top works as long as you can find something on the bottom that cancels with it. So I like the 26 and the 13. 13 goes into both of them. 13 divided by 13 is 1. 26 divided by 13 is 2. Also the 5 and the 15, you can divide both of those by 5. 5 by 5 is 1. 15 by 5 is 3. And I think that's it. So not the easiest one here. Across the top I have 3 times 2, which is 6, times another 4 is 24. And across the bottom I have 7 times 1 times 1, which is just 7. This answer is good. Or 7 goes into 24 3 times. That gets me up to 21. So I need 3 more to get up to 24. The denominator stays the same. Both are great. Okay, similar for this one. Let's switch them all to improper. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3 is 28 over 5. Keep it division for now. 3 times 25 is 75, plus 9 is, ooh, that's tough, 84 over 25. Ooh, these look some big numbers here. And the last one, 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Oh, I like that one better, 5 over 3. Okay, let's look at this a bit at a time. First, let's look at this. So I want to switch it to multiplication. How do I do that? I keep the first fraction the same, 28 over 5, and I make this multiply and flip the second one. So it's going to be 25 over 84. Okay, now you have another division statement here. So leave the thing you've already written here, leave that alone, but change this to multiply and flip the second one, so 3 over 5. So basically, if you have a multiplication sign, then don't flip the one after it. But if you have a division sign, flip the one after it. Here's a division sign, flip the one after it. Here's another division sign, flip the one after that as well, right? And then you can switch it all to multiplying. Now you're ready to ninja slice. Okay, boy, what can we do here? I see I have a 5 and a 25. Divide them both by 5, I get 1 and 5. Hey, then I have another 5 and 5. So divide those both by 5, and you get 1 and 1. Okay, 28, 84, and 3. Okay, well, let's start with the 3. Is 84 divisible by 3? How do you know? You add the digits. 8 plus 4 is 12. Is 12 divisible by 3? Absolutely. So you know they're both divisible by 3. 3 by 3 is 1. 84 by 3, you might need to pull a calculator out for that one or something. It's 28. Wait a minute. 28? Look what you got here. You can divide them both by 28, and you get 1 and 1. What's left? 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. Our answer is 1. And here's our word problem we always end with. A suitcase has a volume of 27.5 liters. How many packs of raspberries can be stored in the suitcase? Oh yeah, we're going to be smuggling raspberries across the border or something. If each pack has a volume of 1 2/3 liters. So this is the total, 27.5, and we want to know how many of these 1 2/3 go into 27.5. In other words, 27.5 divided by 1 2/3 equals what? Okay, same old rules, got to switch these to improper. 27 times 2 is 54, plus 1 is 55 over 2, divided by 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5 over 3. Now we'll make it a multiplication question. Keep the first fraction the same and flip the second one. Okay, any ninja slicing? For sure. 55 and 5, divide them both by 5. You get 1 and you get 11. So if you multiply now, 11 times 3 is 33, and 2 times 1 is 2. So this is how many packs, 33 over 2. This is one time where you probably do want to switch it into mix because it'll make a little more sense to you. 2 goes into 33 16 times with 1 left over. Oh, I can fit 16.5 packs of raspberries. That is easier to picture. And that's good to know how many packs of raspberries fit into a suitcase. Never forget this, people. It's going to make a big difference in your life. All right, I hope division of fraction makes sense. Otherwise, reach out to me and I'll help you out. Take care. Goodbye.